All right, so the next topic is simply user input in Dart. Now, user input is one of the most common topics in most programming languages, and in simple terms, user input just allows a program to receive information from the user while the program is running. Well, imagine you wanted to fill a form on a website and you needed to put in your email and also your password, and there's sort of like a button where you need to click to simply submit the form, right? Of course, whatever you are filling inside of these boxes, your email and your password, and you submit it. Okay, now these boxes you see here, okay, this is more like the user input I'm talking about. You are the user and you are going to simply type in your email, and then you are simply going to also type in your password, right? So wherever you are typing your email and password, okay, is simply called the input field. All right, so that's kind of what we simply want to do here. Okay, so we simply want to learn how to use the user input. It's for us to test and for users to actually put in things like their name, age, email, phone number, password, date of birth, and so on, right? And anytime you actually type something into the field, let's say you type your username and you type your password, let's say your username is John12345, and password, you typed in your password, and let's say one more thing you typed in was your age, because they wanted to know what age you are, and let's say your age is 55, right? So anytime you type something either inside any of these boxes, by default it always returns a string. Okay, so it always returns a string. So whether you are typing only number inside it, it will return it as a string for you. It's weird, right? 55 is the number, is an integer, but when you submit the form, it will be returned as a string, right? There's a way you can convert it to a number, but for now, just understand what the input field is, and also understands that the result is always returning a string. Okay, now let's actually create a simple example. So for this, we are going to be creating a new file. So of course, then we are going to be naming it user-inputs.dart, this way, like so. Okay, so of course, the first thing first, so void main, then you open your parentheses like that, right? Sweet. Okay, so let's try something interesting. Let's first of all print, as in, we want to ask a user their name. So let's first of all print something like, what is your name, at the top here. I'll put in like a question mark. Then let's jump to the next line. Okay, so whatever the user types, I want it to be stored as the final results. So that's why I'm using final, although you can use var, it's cool, but anything they type, I just want it to be final. So whenever I want to ask their user their name, so I'll be storing it inside the variable called final. I'm creating a variable called final, but what we'd usually do is to like store our name like this, right? But I don't want to do that. I want to let somebody type in their own name instead. And how do we do that? We simply use user input in Dart. And how do you create user input? So to simply create user input, I'll show you how to import it first of all. But to create that, you simply need to type stdin, okay, then dot. Now there's actually what we call readLineSync, so which we have it like this. Now you can see it's not giving me the option I simply want to type, right? So let me show you what is actually wrong here. What is wrong here is that we are trying to write something that, well, doesn't exist. Okay, in order for you to actually use what I'm about to show you now, you simply need to import it from that. Okay, well, that has some things that you can't just simply just start using. You need to first of all import it from that itself. Okay, good. So let's simply learn how to import it. So to simply import it, let's delete this first. What you simply need to do is at the top of your code, outside your code, just come on the outside of your code, at the top of it, you can say I push this down, then you type import. Now you can import various different packages, we call them packages, that you can use. Okay, so just imagine this package as, say, in your room you do need to put your clothes inside a cupboard, right, or inside a wardrobe, right? So what you simply need to do is you need to get one wardrobe, right, or by building one rather than putting your clothes on the floor. So when you get that wardrobe, the wardrobe would contain the different designs of your clothes, or just your clothes basically, right? If you wanted to store your shoes, you would need to import shelves, right? You need to buy some shelves, right? So what we are importing is just simply for the purpose of what we want to use here, right? And what we are importing, okay, is simply called that itself. Okay, so open a single string like this, then type that, then colon, then io. Okay, so in simple terms, this is simply what we are going to import in order for us to use the user input. All right, so you can read more about it by clicking on this link here. If you scroll down to the very end, you can read more about it. So when we import this this particular file here, we have certain things we can do with it. Okay, just like the terminology I gave you, you can now use certain stuffs, right? So in that case, we can now use that variable which I was trying to type earlier, so which is stdin, then dot, then to use the user input, then you say read line sync, so line, then sync like this, then you open a parenthesis and don't forget your semicolon. Okay, so this is the line you're simply going to be using. All right, and it just simply allows a user to be able to type something in your terminal. And of course, if you scroll down, you will see the details about what each of this does, right? So it's as simple as that, but this is what you simply use. So inside of this now, you don't need to write anything inside the parentheses. Okay, so what they will see is whatever their name is, and we want them to type something. Okay, so whatever they type, for example, if they type John, this is automatically going to be John like this, right? So that's how it's going to simply work. But let me just reverse it to the way it works. So on a new line, let's print final. Okay, so print, then we are going to print the name. All right, so let's just make it simple for now. So print name this way. Okay, let's actually open our terminal, so you know how to. Then we are going to type dart, then the file name which you want to run actually, so that space, then the file name is called user input.dart, so user input dart this way, and then press enter. You'll see as soon as you press enter this time, it will bring up an option, and what is going to bring up is this print. Okay, that was the first line in our code. It's print, it shows what is your name, and as soon as you type your name, it stores it to this name variable we have here. Okay, so that name is then whatever your name is, then print my name for me. Okay, so let's see the result now. Okay, so you can see it has brought up where it says what is your name. Then you can just simply type your name. So let's say the name is John, and as soon as you type John, automatically this first name is not going to be all this std blah blah, it's going to be John, then automatically to print John for you. Okay, so that's how everything works. And if I press enter, you will see it just prints John for me in the terminal, as you can see, right? So this is just simply the simple way to use user input, but we can make it more better. Now, if you are not able to type John in your terminal, you might need to probably set that up. So let me show you how to fix it if you are not able to type in your terminal. Okay, so you need to install an extension here. So on the sidebar here, you want to go to your extensions, right? So this is the fourth one is likely the extension. Just move your mouse on it. In my own case, I think it's the fifth one called extension. So I'll just click on it. Then we are going to be installing an extension called Code Runner. Obviously I have it already, but this is it. So just type Code Runner. It allows you to run certain programming language inside of your VS Code. Okay, so it's going to load up, and so when it shows up, by the way, I have it, but this is what you get to see. Code Runner. So just simply install it. Okay, when you install it, you will see automatically at the top here, you see like a play button. So this allows you to run your your Dart file. Okay, you can also run it that way too. I think that actually works as well. Okay, so well, since we have it here, okay, so you can then try to click on this one, at the top there. Okay, that will simply allow you to also run your code in the terminal. So it allows you to run that file, JavaScript, if you know what that is, and some bunch of other different programming languages too. Okay. So once it runs it in your terminal, we should be able to type your name in your terminal. Okay, so John, and then you press enter, right? And that should work. If that doesn't work, maybe you might just need to do it in your command prompt, or you might need to go to settings at the bottom here. So where it says manage, you can go to settings and search for code runner and just activate it. Okay, so you can print your name this way. You can also make it interesting. Let's actually put this in a $sign this way. Okay, so I want to print something along with my name. So you could say maybe your username is then whatever the user types. Okay, so when you of course now run it now, if you have the code runner, okay, you see this actually still, everything works the same way. So let me just so it says what is your name, and if I type John, so if I press enter, it says your username is simply John. Okay, so this is just what user input is in Dart. Okay, so in the next class, I think we will do a little bit of extension on it. And remember, anything you type in the terminal is always going to return it as a string. If you type what is your age now, it would always, and you type whatever your age is, it will return it as a string. Okay, so you should have that in mind. Okay, so that's all about user input, and well, we move on to the next